Welcome, everyone. I want to thank you for joining us today, and we are going to talk about the AI Authority Blueprint. This is 7 moves that you, as a remodeling contractor, must take now if you're going to stay visible in Google's new search process. This is not going to be a theory session. It is not a look at how interesting AI is. It is actually a practical conversation for remodeling company owners and leaders who need to understand what Google is changing, why it matters, and what needs to be done next. And so the goal today is really simple. I want you to leave with a clear understanding of how Google's new AI-driven search environment is changing visibility for remodelers and what you can start doing over the next 90 days to build authority before your competitors catch up to you. And Google did not kill search, it rebuilt search around decisions. And that is the core idea that I want you to grab hold of today. For years, we've talked about rankings, keywords, links, traffic, clicks, and map pack visibility. And while those things still matter, I'm not saying that they have disappeared, but they are no longer the entirety of the search game because Google is now using AI to interpret what homeowners really mean, assemble answers, and then compare businesses, evaluate reviews, read content, and understand video to help people make their decisions faster. And so, what that means is the contractor who wins is not necessarily the one with the most keywords on a page. It is actually the one that Google's AI can understand, verify, and trust. So the question has changed. It's not just do you rank, it is does Google understand, trust, and recommend your company? So that is the change in the conversation. So let's kind of backtrack for a second where we've been over the last 60 days roughly. So in April, in our webinar, we talked about AI and local SEO for remodelers. In May, we talked about agentic search and how AI agents are beginning to shape contractor discovery. And then in the third week of May, I released a recap of Google's I/O 2026 presentation and Google Marketing Live, where Google confirmed much of the direction that we have been discussing. So this month, we are not repeating what we've already covered. What we are actually doing is we're giving you the implementation step. So April explained the shift, May explained the rise of AI agents, and the Google announcements confirmed that direction. So, what we need to do today is answer the question that every serious remodeling contractor and company should be asking. And that is, what do we do next? And that's what today's discussion is actually here to answer for you is that question. What do you do next? And so this slide shows the practical shift. In the old model, a homeowner typed a keyword, Google ranked pages, the homeowner clicked around, read a few sites, checked reviews, maybe asked a friend, and then they decided who they were going to call. And while that process still happens, it is being compressed. What's happening in the new model is the homeowner is asking a more detailed question. Google is interpreting that question for its intent, and the AI is assembling an answer. It's pulling from reviews, it's pulling from video, it is pulling from websites, pulling from video or from articles, structured data, and from other resources. And then what it's doing is it's narrowing the field. And that is a very different environment than what we're used to operating in. So the homeowner may not actually visit 10 websites anymore. They may ask Google, who are the best design build remodelers near me for a kitchen remodel if I care about communication, dust control, and staying close to budget. That kind of query is not a keyword-based question. It's a decision. And so the contractors who show up in that environment will be the ones whose authority is very clear. So most remodelers will not wake up one morning and suddenly be invisible. Most remodelers are not going to disappear overnight. That's not what typically happens. What's going to happen is they'll start to fade. The decline will be quieter. It'll be fewer impressions, fewer map views, fewer calls, fewer qualified opportunities, lower brand recall, less trust before the first conversation takes place. And because that happens gradually, many owners will just blame the market. The economy, seasonality, interest rates, bad leads. Sometimes those things are part of the issue, but sometimes the problem is that the market moved and your digital footprint did not. So the danger is not sudden collapse. The danger is slow invisibility and then irrelevance. And that's why we need to talk about authority now and not wait until you disappear. So here's why this matters today, why this is a pressing conversation for right now. Google's recent announcements made their direction very clear. Search is becoming more conversational. People are using longer, more detailed questions. AI overviews and AI mode are changing how people consume their answers. AI agents are starting to act on behalf of users, and Google is interpreting more formats, including images and video. Paid search is now shifting away from manual keyword micromanagement and towards intent, context, and AI-driven matching. And for a remodeling company, that means your visibility is no longer just about one page or one keyword or one campaign. It's about whether your entire digital presence is giving Google enough confidence to understand and recommend your business. So Google's not just ranking information anymore. It is helping homeowners make decisions. And that's the practical shift. It is becoming a decision-making engine. So authority is the new visibility, and that's a concept I really need you to get clear on. I'm not saying keywords, rankings, and backlinks and map pack placement or website traffic no longer matters, because they do, but they are only pieces of a larger authority system. So contractors used to chase those things exclusively, but that won't work anymore. Google needs to know who you are, what you do, where you work, what kind of projects you are best suited for, whether your claims can actually be verified, and whether real customers actually support and validate those claims. And the truth is, this is where many remodelers are weak. They have a decent website, they may have some reviews, they may have a business Google profile, but the pieces are not reinforcing each other. So Google sees fragments, but they don't see alignment. And alignment is where authority comes from. So your website and your reviews and your videos and your business listings and your project pages and your service pages and your content all have to tell the same story. They have to be congruent. They have to be in alignment with each other. So you're no longer just optimizing for search engines. What you're doing is you are training Google's understanding of your business. And this is one of the most important lines in our conversation today. You're not optimizing for search engines. You are training Google's understanding of your business. And so every asset is teaching Google something. Let me say that again. Every asset is teaching Google something. Your service pages teach Google what you do. Your project pages teach Google what you've actually completed. Your reviews teach Google what customers have actually experienced when they work with you. Your videos are teaching Google how you explain, how you solve, and how you communicate. Your Google business profile teaches Google where you are active. Your directories are teaching Google whether your identity is consistent. And your content teaches Google whether you understand the homeowner's real decision process. See, authority is not one thing. Authority is the accumulation of consistent proof. It is layers being stacked one upon the other. So let's talk about the authority blueprint. And these are 7 moves that you need to be making right now. We're going to dissect each one of these piece by piece. So here's the blueprint that we're going to walk through today. There's 7 components to this blueprint, 7 moves. They're not random tactics. They work together in synergy. So first, we need to rebuild content around homeowner decisions, not just keywords. Second, we need to treat video as an authority asset. Third, reviews need to become stronger and they need to become much more specific. Fourth, your digital footprint needs entity consistency. Fifth, your website needs to be ready for AI agents, not just human visitors. Sixth, paid search has to be updated for intent, context, and AI-driven campaigns. And then seventh, all of this needs to be turned into a 90-day implementation plan. You see, the point here is not to do everything at once. The point is to know what matters and then start building in the right order. And that's why I wanted to give you this blueprint. So you have a working game plan to work forward on over the next 90 days. So let's start with move number 1. Rebuild your content around homeowner decisions, not keywords. This is going to be a major mindset shift for you. And even for us as marketers, this is a huge mindset shift. I was talking with our former SEO director last week. He's been in the SEO world for nearly 25 years. I've been in the online marketing world since the dial-up days. This is a huge mindset shift because most remodeling content is still built around service phrases: kitchen remodeling, bathroom remodeling, basement finishing, home additions, design build remodeling. Those phrases still matter, but they do not reflect how the homeowner makes their decisions. A homeowner doesn't wake up thinking, I need keyword optimized content. They are thinking, can I trust this contractor? Will this project disrupt my family? Why are these estimates so different? What happens if something goes wrong? Am I making a smart financial decision? That is where your content needs to go because they are thinking through fear, uncertainty, comparisons, timing, budget pressure, family needs, and trust considerations. And we've got to follow the lead of the homeowner. So the old content model was service name based content. Kitchen remodeling contractor near me, bathroom remodeling company, basement finishing contractor, home addition contractor, deck builder, window replacement company. Again, they're not wrong, but they are shallow by themselves because they describe what you do, but they don't help the homeowner make a confident decision. If every competitor has a similar page with similar claims, similar photos, and similar language, then the homeowner is still left comparing on price, convenience, and surface level impressions. And that's not where you want to compete. That's a quick race to the bottom, and nobody wants to be in that race. The new content model is all about decision paths. And these are the actual questions that homeowners are wrestling with. Should we remodel or move? How much disruption should we expect? How do we know if a contractor is trustworthy? Why are remodeling estimates so different? What should we ask before hiring a remodeler? What can go wrong during a kitchen remodel? How do we plan a remodel around kids, pets, or working from home? Is design build worth it? What should happen before demolition starts? You see, these questions reveal intent. They reveal fear, they reveal timing, they reveal context. And this is exactly the kind of content that Google's AI can use to understand whether you are helpful, experienced, and relevant. Here's why decision path content matters, because it helps Google understand what service you offer. It helps Google understand whether you are qualified to guide someone through the decision. And that's the difference. Remodeling is not an impulse purchase. It is emotional, it is expensive, it affects the home, the family, the schedule, the budget, and the homeowner's peace of mind. So the contractor who helps the homeowner think clearly earns trust earlier. Your content should reduce doubt before the first call. It should answer objections before the sales appointment, and it should create confidence before a proposal is ever written. That's how content becomes an authority asset. So here's your practical action. Move number one. Create a list of the top 25 questions homeowners ask before they hire you. Don't overcomplicate this. Ask your sales team, ask your project managers, look at emails, look at consultation notes. Think about the questions that keep coming up repeatedly. Then turn those questions into content: a blog post, a short video, an FAQ, a Google business profile post, an email, a social media post, a project page explanation. That is how you're going to build content that reflects real buying behavior instead of just chasing keyword volume. Here are some example content topics that you can create by category. So for kitchen remodeling, you can talk about why estimates are different, what happens before removing a wall, how long a remodel takes, and what causes costs to increase. For bathrooms, you can explain waterproofing. You can talk about older home issues, working around one bathroom, and common mistakes homeowners make. For whole home remodeling, you can talk about phasing, living in the home, the design process, and how families prepare for a major project. Notice the difference. These are not generic service pages. These are decision support topics. This kind of content makes you more useful to the homeowner and more understandable to the AI systems. The contractor who answers the question before the sales call is also the one who earns trust before the sales call. And that's the point. Most remodelers are waiting until the consultation to prove they know what they're doing. In the new search environment, that's actually too late. The trust building process starts before the homeowner ever contacts you. Your content should make the homeowner feel like these people understand what I'm worried about. And when that happens, your sales process gets easier and you're no longer starting from zero. The second move is you need to turn video into an authority asset because video is no longer optional. Not because you need to become an influencer, but because video is one of the strongest ways to demonstrate real expertise. And by Google's own admission, they are using YouTube as a data layer for their AI. You need to use video to your advantage. You don't need to dance on TikTok. That's not the point. Video shows evidence. It shows real projects, real people, real communication, real expertise, and real job site conditions. Text can tell, but video can show. And in remodeling, that matters because homeowners are trying to decide whether they can trust you inside their home. Here's what remodelers are getting wrong about video because many remodelers just have the wrong idea when it comes to video. They think video means a polished commercial, a drone shot, a fancy brand video, or a scripted testimonial. And while those things can have their place, they are not the strategy. The problem is that polished videos often feel much too controlled. They look nice, but they may not have the answer to the homeowner's real question. Proof based video is different. It shows what you know, it shows how you think, it shows how you handle problems, and it shows whether you can communicate clearly. And that's really what the homeowner needs. And what we find is that process transparency actually converts better. And so the more authentic, the more powerful it really is. So let's talk about proof-based video. This is really what works now. Job site walkthroughs, before and after explanations, owner commentary, project challenges, material selections, what we found behind the wall type videos, process explainers, short answers to common homeowner questions, team introductions. And they don't have to be perfect, they just need to be useful. A 2-minute video on a real job site that explains a common issue can build way more trust than a highly produced commercial that says the same generic things that every other contractor is saying. The point is not production value, the real point is proof. Show and tell. Here's why video builds authority, and it's simple. It just gives evidence. It shows real work. It shows real people. It shows real job sites. It shows how you explain problems. It shows how you think through solutions. And increasingly, AI systems are getting better at understanding video content. That means video is not just for social engagement, it can become part of your authority footprint. YouTube, Google Business Profile, your website, social media, and even email follow-up can all use video as proof. Homeowners want confidence, and video gives them a faster path to that confidence. As I said before, Google is using YouTube as a data layer for their AI. And YouTube now has a function called Ask YouTube, where people can actually ask questions relating to video content. That is a new feature that Google rolled out in May as part of I/O 2026. So it is a critical data layer in the decision-making process that Google is using. You don't want to ignore it. Now, here's a simple weekly video formula that you can use. It's a 5-part structure, and it's something you can easily follow. And this is what I'm going to recommend for you. Start with the situation. What project are we looking at? Then explain the problem. What challenge, concern, or decision came up? Then give the explanation. What should the homeowner understand? Then show the solution. How did your team address it? Then close with the takeaway. What should another homeowner learn from this? This formula will keep your video focused. It also keeps you from rambling, and every video should teach one clear point. Here's some example video topics that you might want to use. Why this bathroom remodel needed more than new tile. What homeowners should know before removing a load-bearing wall. Why 2 kitchen remodel estimates can be $40,000 apart. How we protect a home during a major remodel. What happens during the first week of a remodeling project. These are not entertainment topics, they're trust topics. They answer questions homeowners already have. And when you answer those questions in a clear and useful way, you become more than another contractor. You become a guide, and that's where authority is built. Some additional topics: how to prepare for a design consultation, what we found during demolition and why it mattered, why cheap materials often cost more later. All of these things just make you a trusted guide and authority to the homeowners who are taking in your content. Here's move number 2, practical action step for you. Record one simple video per week, 2 to 4 minutes. Use your phone, keep it short. 2 to 4 minutes is more than enough. Stand on a job site or even record it in your office, but explain something useful. One thing. Then use that video everywhere. Upload it to YouTube as the primary channel, embed it on a service page, put it on your Google business profile, share it on social media, embed it in your blog posts, use it in an email follow-up, use it in sales conversations to pre-answer common questions, send it to your prospects. One good video can become multiple authority assets that you can use across multiple channels. That's how you get leverage. Repurpose that video content. Remember, polished content may look nice, but proof content actually builds trust. And that's the distinction. We're not against polished content, but if all you have is polished content and no proof, your marketing starts to feel thin. Homeowners actually want to see that you know what you're doing. They want to see that you've been there before. They want to see that you can explain things clearly. They want to see that you are the absolute best at what you do. And proof content does that. And in the AI search era, proof is becoming your most valuable asset. Here's move number 3. Make reviews stronger and more AI readable. A 5-star review is good, but a specific 5-star review is better. Because AI does not just need sentiment, it needs context. And so move number 3 is all about making your reviews stronger and more AI readable. Because most remodelers understand they need reviews, but many only focus on the star rating. A high star rating matters, but it's not enough. It is the content of the review that really matters. A generic 5-star review helps, but a specific 5-star review is much more helpful because it gives Google and homeowners context. It explains what happened, what project was completed, where the work took place, and what that customer actually experienced. And it's that specificity that builds actual authority. And here's why generic reviews fall short. A weak review. Great company, highly recommend. Well, it's positive, but it's thin. Nobody's upset about getting that review, but from an authority standpoint, it really doesn't say much. It doesn't explain what work was done. It doesn't explain where the project happened. It doesn't explain what problem was solved. It doesn't explain what the homeowner was worried about. And it doesn't explain why the company was trustworthy. In the end, it supports your rating, but it doesn't do much to support your authority. We really need more context. Here's what a strong review looks like. We hired ABC Remodeling for kitchen remodel in Westfield. They helped us redesign the layout, communicated clearly during the project, protected the rest of our home from dust, and finished close to the expected timeline. We were nervous because this was our first major remodel, but their team made the process much easier. Now, compare that stronger review. It mentions the project type, kitchen remodel. It mentions the location, Westfield. It talks about redesigning the layout. It talks about communication. It talks about protecting the home. It talks about the timeline. It mentions the homeowner's concern and the emotional relief. that is a much more useful review. A future homeowner can see themselves in that story. Google can also extract more meaning from that review because it's not just positive sentiment, it is evidence. And that is what we want more of. So, strong reviews are going to include some key things: the project type, the location or service area, the problem solved or the concern addressed, the quality of communication, cleanliness and professionalism, timeline adherence, trust signals and emotional relief, specific team members being mentioned, and before and after transformation being described. Now, you don't need every review to include each one of these, but the more specific your reviews are, the more useful they become. And this matters because reviews are not just social proof, they are content, they're local trust signals, they are authority signals, and your review strategy should reflect that. Now, here's an important guardrail. It's an ethical boundary, really. Do not script fake reviews. Do not manipulate clients or tell them what to say. And do not offer incentives in exchange for reviews. Here's what you do instead: ask better questions that help clients share honest and specific experiences. Because the goal is to help clients leave reviews that are honest, specific, and useful. Because you want to help happy clients leave reviews that share their actual experiences so that they write more than great company, highly recommend. The reason people do that is not because their experience was shallow, it's because the prompt was shallow. Better prompts produce better reviews. So ask better questions and you will get better reviews. So instead of saying, "Would you leave us a review?" ask these questions instead. What project did we complete for you? What problem were you trying to solve? What concerns did you have before hiring us? How did our team communicate during the project? What part of the experience gave you the most confidence? What would you tell another homeowner considering a similar remodel? These questions will help the client tell a better story. They're still using their own words, but now they're thinking about the experience in a more specific way. And that makes the review more useful for future homeowners and more understandable for AI systems. Here's a practical action step for you to take on move number 3. Update your review request process this month. Don't just send a link and say, "Would you leave us a review?" Instead, say something like, "Would you be willing to share what project we completed? What your experience was like, and what would you tell another homeowner considering a similar remodel?" That one change in your review request language can improve your review quality. And timing matters too. Ask while the experience is still fresh and make the process easy. Make sure someone owns the review process as well. If nobody owns it, it's not going to happen consistently. Generic reviews support your rating, but specific reviews are going to build your authority. And that's the point. You still want 5-star reviews, but the companies that are going to win in AI search will not just have more stars, they're going to have better proof. They'll have reviews that explain what they do, where they work, how they communicate, and why homeowners trust them. That is the kind of review profile you want to build. Move number 4. Build entity consistency across your digital footprint because Google needs to clearly understand your business as an entity. Your company identity has to be consistent everywhere. Any confusion is going to create friction, and consistency will build confidence. I know this sounds technical, but the idea is pretty simple. Google needs to clearly understand your business, who you are, what you do, where do you work? Are you the same company across every platform? Because when your information is consistent, trust gets easier. When the information is scattered, outdated, or contradictory, friction increases. And friction is not your friend in search. Here's the basics of what Google needs to understand about your business. What is your company name? What services do you provide? Where are you located? What areas do you serve? Who owns or leads the company? What projects do you specialize in? Are you residential or commercial? Are you full service remodeling, design build, a specialty trade, or something else? Are your claims supported across the web? This matters because Google's not just looking at your website in isolation, it is building an understanding of your business from multiple sources. So your job is to make that understanding easy. Here are some common entity problems that we see that a lot of remodelers have. Different business descriptions on different platforms, old addresses, inconsistent phone numbers, weak Google business profile categories, service pages that don't match directory listings, social profiles that don't match the website, outdated listings, no schema, no clear service area language, no connection between website, YouTube, Google business profile, and social channels. Now, these issues might seem small to you by themselves, but collectively, they create confusion, and confusion weakens authority. So, consistency matters because it is your digital footprint. And every platform shapes Google's understanding of who you are. So let me explain your digital footprint. Your digital footprint includes everything: your website homepage, service pages, your about page, your Google business profile, your YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, House, Better Business Bureau, directories, local Chamber of Commerce pages, review platforms, your schema, your project pages, your service area pages. Every one of these is either reinforcing the same story or it's creating noise. The goal is not to be everywhere randomly. The goal is to be consistent where you are present. And a clear footprint beats a scattered footprint. So here's your practical action step for move number 4. You need to audit your digital footprint and start with these 5 questions. Is the company name consistent everywhere? Is your phone number consistent everywhere? Is your address or service area consistent everywhere? Are your core services described the same way? Does every major platform point back to the same business identity? This is not glamorous work, but it is foundational. And if your foundation is weak, more content and more ads are not going to fix the underlying confusion. So repair your foundation first and then build your authority on top of it. Because if Google has to guess who you are, where you work, or what you do, you have already created friction. And that's the takeaway. Your job is to make the truth obvious. Obvious to Google, obvious to homeowners, obvious to AI platforms, obvious to referral partners. Clear identity creates trust. Confused identity creates hesitation. And in a competitive market, hesitation will cost you opportunities. Move number 5. Prepare your website for AI agents, not just human visitors. Because the next visitor to your website may not be the homeowner. It may be an AI agent evaluating your business on the homeowner's behalf. And pretty is not enough. Clear wins, and structured wins, and specific wins. Move number 5 is making sure that your website is prepared for both human and AI experience. For years, we thought of the website visitor as a person clicking around, looking at photos, reading service pages, and filling out a form. And while that still happens, things are changing. We need to think about AI agents and AI search systems evaluating your business on behalf of the homeowner. And that means your website can no longer just be pretty. It needs to be clear, structured, specific, and useful. Pretty is not enough. Clear is what wins. What an AI agent needs to quickly determine how your business functions and how to evaluate your business. Does this company serve the area? Do they handle this project type? Are they credible? Do they show real work? Do they explain their process? Do they have strong reviews? Do they provide enough trust signals? Are they a legitimate local company? Are they a good fit for this homeowner situation? If your website does not answer these questions clearly, you are making the system work too hard. And when you make the system work too hard, you increase the chance of being overlooked. What your website must clearly answer. Who do you serve? What services do you provide? Where do you work? What projects are you best suited for? What does your process look like? What budget factors should homeowners understand? What makes your company trustworthy? What proof do you have? What objections or fears do you address? What should the homeowner do next? Most remodeling websites only answer part of those questions. They show pictures and they ask for the call, but they do not do enough to remove doubt, and that has to change. Here are the website assets that remodelers need, and these are required assets. Clear service pages, detailed project pages, FAQ pages, a process page, an about page with leadership credibility, reviews and testimonials, before and after galleries, video embeds, service area pages, financing information if that's applicable, warranty or workmanship information, strong calls to action, schema, fast mobile experience, clear contact options. You see, this is not about adding clutter, it's about giving Google and homeowners the right information in the right structure. Your website should function like an authority hub. It should have all the data layers that both the human visitor and the AI visitor can quickly access the information and data they're looking for. You see, many remodeling websites look good, but they say very little. They are a brochure, but they are not authority assets. They say quality craftsmanship. They say trusted contractor. They say family owned. They show a few photos, but they do not explain why a homeowner should believe them. They do not answer the hard questions. They do not show enough proof. They do not clarify process. They ask for trust before they earn it. And that's a problem. In the new search environment, vague websites will struggle. So here's practical action step for move number 5. Start with your top 3 services and strengthen those pages first. For most remodelers, that may be kitchen remodeling, bathroom remodeling, and whole home remodeling, or it could be additions, basements, and design build. But take those top pages and strengthen them first. Each page should explain who the service is for, common problems. It should have project examples, process, frequently asked questions, photos, videos, reviews, service area relevance, and the next step. This is practical, this is doable, and it can make a real difference. Include reviews. Don't try to rebuild everything at once, and then fix those most valuable pages first. Take it one step at a time, one bite at a time. Remember this, your website should not just impress people, it should remove doubt. And that's a critical distinction. A beautiful website that does not answer questions is incomplete. And a good remodeling website should help a homeowner feel more confident. It should help Google understand your process. It should help Google understand your business. It should reinforce trust. The job of the website is not just to look good. It's to move the right homeowner closer to a confident decision and to lower resistance in the process. Here's move number 6. Update page search for intent, context, and AI-driven campaigns. You see, page search is changing. Manual keyword micromanagement is losing power because Google is leaning harder into AI Max, Performance Max, Demand Gen, and intent-based matching. And so the control points of Google search ads are changing. So move 6 is updating your page search for intent, context, in these AI-driven campaigns. And so for years, page search management was all about keywords, match type, phrase match, broad match, exact match, bids, ad copy, landing pages. And while those matter still, everything is changing because Google is moving more towards their AI-driven campaign systems that are focused on intent and context to match ad with more complex searches. And that means that the control points are changing. Strategy matters still, but what's mattering more is that ads need to match up to answering questions that are being asked. And so the way we manage the system has to change. So page search, the old versus the new. The old model focused on exact keywords, manual bids, basic text ads, landing pages, conversion tracking, cost per lead, click-through rate, and impression share. And those are still useful metrics and levers, but they don't tell the whole story anymore. Because the problem is that many homeowners are no longer searching in short keyword fragments. They're asking more complete and more nuanced questions. A keyword-only mindset is going to miss that intent. And if your measurement only counts form fills, you may be optimizing for activity instead of real opportunity. And that can be dangerous. And so the new control points are much deeper. High quality creative inputs, strong landing pages, accurate business data, audience signals, service clarity, offer clarity, budget discipline, lead quality tracking, offline conversion feedback, call tracking, CRM data, creative testing. What's happening is we have a more strategic environment and we're not just pulling levers, we're feeding the system better information. We're creating a deeper feedback loop. And so AI driven campaigns are only as good as the strategy, the inputs, and the tracking behind them. And so bad inputs create bad outcomes and they create them a whole lot faster. AI driven ad platforms spend money very efficiently, but they can also spend money very wastefully. Let me say that again. AI driven ad platforms can spend money very efficiently, but they can also spend money very wastefully and very quickly, I might add. So the difference is the quality of the inputs and the discipline of the strategy. If you feed the machine weak assets, vague goals, and poor tracking with unclear offers, don't be surprised if you get weak outcomes. And here's the warning: don't confuse automation with wisdom. If your tracking is weak, your landing pages are vague, your offer's unclear, your creative is thin, your lead quality feedback is missing, the platform may optimize towards the wrong outcomes. And that doesn't mean the platform is useless. It means that the business is not giving it the right inputs. So the better the inputs, the better the system can perform. Strategy is not optional, and the old adage, garbage in, garbage out, very much applies here. So here's a paid campaign audit, and here's the questions you need to be asking. Are we tracking qualified leads or just form fills? Are your calls being recorded and reviewed? Are you booking appointments and sold jobs and feeding that information back into the system? Are your landing pages aligned with homeowner intent? Are you giving Google enough creative assets? Are campaigns organized around service priority and business capacity? Are you measuring project quality, not just lead quantity? See, these questions are important because marketing is not just about generating noise, it's about producing profitable opportunities. And more leads does not automatically mean better marketing because better opportunities are what matter. Here's your practical action step for move number 6. Stop measuring paid search only by lead volume. Lead volume is not enough. You need to know qualified leads, booked appointments, sales opportunities, project type, average job value, close rate, cost per qualified opportunity, cost per sold job, return on ad spend, and revenue by campaign source. And that's where a lot of contractors break down. They say leads are bad, but they don't have the tracking to prove what's actually happening. Is it that the leads are bad? Or is the follow-up slow? Or is the sales process weak? Or is the campaign attracting the wrong project type? You need data to answer all those questions. See, AI does not eliminate marketing strategy. It just punishes lazy strategy faster. That's the line. Automation can accelerate good strategy, but it can also accelerate bad strategy. The contractors who win are not the ones who hand everything over to the machine and hope. They are the ones who define the strategy, improve the inputs, and measure the right outcomes, and then continue to improve and refine the strategy. AI can be extremely powerful, but it still needs direction. Here's move number 7. Install a 90-day AI authority build plan. Contractors don't need random marketing activity. They need a structured build plan because authority is built through consistent proof over time, not by one campaign, one blog post, or one video. They need a structured plan. A blog here, a video there, a few reviews, a little SEO work, and some ad changes is not going to create durable authority if there's no system behind it. Authority is built through consistent proof over time. And that means you need a sequence. What gets fixed first? What gets built next? What gets measured after that? And that's what the 90-day plan is going to give you. And so here's the 90-day AI authority framework that I'm going to recommend for you. The first 30 days, you want to focus on repairing your foundation. So days 1 through 30, audit your website clarity, audit your Google business profile, fix inconsistent business info, review your service pages and call to actions, check your tracking, identify your content gaps, update your business descriptions. And I would encourage you to screenshot this. Days 31 through 60, build your authority assets, create your decision path content, record your weekly videos, add FAQs to service pages, build your project pages, improve your review requests, add schema markup, and publish your GBP updates. Day 61 through 90, track your visibility changes, review your GBP insights, review Search Console, audit your ad campaign quality, audit your AI search appearances and identify those, and then build your next 90-day plan and strengthen your weak areas. Now, this is going to matter because order matters. A lot of contractors are going to want to jump straight into more ads or more content, but if your foundation is broken, all you're going to do is amplify your weaknesses. So first, make sure your business is easier to understand. Start with the foundation. Then build your proof. Then measure what's working and expand. That's the disciplined path to making everything work well. And again, let's go over this. First 30 days, audit your website clarity. Does it answer AI agent questions? Audit and update the Google business profile. Fix inconsistent business information across the platforms. Review and improve your service pages and calls to action. Check conversion tracking, calls, forms, and goals. Identify top content gaps versus competitor research. Review and update business descriptions everywhere. Check reviews and update the review request process. Biggest thing, can Google understand who you are, what you do, where you work, and why you're credible? And can a homeowner understand that quickly? If not, that's where you need to start. The next 30 days, create your decision path content, blog posts, FAQs, and guides. Record and publish one weekly job site video. Add your FAQ sections to all your major service pages. Build your detailed project pages with real photos and descriptions. Improve your review request process and deploy that consistently. Add proof elements, testimonials, awards, certifications to all your key pages. Publish regular Google business profile updates and posts. Add your YouTube content and improve your internal linking. And then add schema markup where that is appropriate. And this is where your authority footprint will start getting stronger because you're going to give Google and homeowners more evidence, more specific information, more clarity, more proof, and that's where your authority will compound. And then your next 30 days is where you're going to expand and measure. Track your visibility changes in your Google business profile insights. You're going to track your calls, your form fills, your qualified appointments. You're going to review your Search Console data for impressions and emerging content wins. You'll review your ad campaign quality and cost per qualified opportunity. You'll review your top performing content and then double down on what's working. You also want to identify your AI search appearances where possible, and then build your next 90-day content plan based on those results, and strengthen the weakest service areas or locations. And that's how you're going to move from random activity to developing your repeatable system. So you do the work, measure what happened, adjust, and that's how you're going to develop your system. That's how serious businesses operate. Now, what do you measure going beyond rankings? Because rankings matter, but they're not enough. You want to measure your Google Business Profile actions. That's going to be your phone calls, your forms, your qualified leads, your booked appointments, your project type, average job value, review volume, review quality, content engagement, video views, Search Console impressions, paid search lead quality, cost per qualified opportunity, and closed revenue by source. Because the goal is not vanity metrics, the goal is business clarity. And so visibility is only valuable if it creates business opportunity. And so that means we need to connect marketing activity to real business outcomes, tie those two things together. Remember, authority is not built by one campaign, it is built by consistent proof over time. And that's what I want you to understand. It's not about a quick trick. It's not about chasing the latest hack. It's about building a digital footprint that is clear, consistent, useful, and trustworthy. The contractors who build that now will be better positioned as AI search becomes more dominant. The contractors who wait will be trying to catch up after the market has already moved. And so let's kind of wrap this up and put it all together for you. There's 7 total moves. Rebuild your content around homeowner decisions, not keywords. Turn video into an authority asset. Make reviews stronger and more AI readable. Build entity consistency across your digital footprint. Prepare your website for AI agents, not just human visitors. Update your page search for intent, context, and AI-driven campaigns. Install a 90-day AI authority build plan. These are all going to work together. Content without reviews is incomplete. Reviews without website clarity is limited. Video without distribution is wasted. Page search without tracking is risky. And authority without tracking or without structure is not going to happen. And that's the total blueprint. And so with that, this is not about chasing Google's algorithm, because that's going to be a losing game. This is about building a business footprint that Google can understand, that AI can trust, and that homeowners can believe. And that is the future of search. That's the future of local visibility. That's the future of contractor marketing. Because Google is trying to determine which businesses are useful, credible, specific, and trustworthy. And that means your marketing needs to reflect the real quality of your business. So if you're a strong remodeler, your digital presence should make that very obvious. If it doesn't, that's the gap that we need to help you close. And so there's a window right now. Most remodelers are still operating from the old playbook. They're still thinking in terms of keywords and rankings and lead volume. And the remodelers who move now have an opportunity to build authority before the market actually catches up. The early movers can build content, strengthen reviews, improve video, clean up digital consistency, and prepare their websites before the rest of the market even knows they need to make those adjustments. And the point is, the window is not going to stay open forever. Google's releasing their new Chrome browser this month that has their AI agent built into it. And so the standard is going to be evident very quickly. And the advantage is going to go to the companies who are already making these changes now. So here's the warning for you and how this plays out. The contractors who ignore this shift probably are not going to feel it immediately. They may still get referrals, they still may get some calls, they may still see some traffic, and that can create a false sense of security. But over time, the market will change. Google understands their competitors better. AI is going to trust their competitors more, and homeowners will see their competitors more often. And they will start to wonder why the phone stopped ringing as much as it used to. And the worst time to fix the authority will be after the leads have already slowed down. So fix it while you still have momentum. And this is the good news for the serious remodeler. If you're willing to build the right foundation, create better content, show real proof, collect stronger reviews, and structure your website, use video to your advantage, and measure what matters, you're going to be able to separate yourself, not by gaming the system, but by becoming the obvious choice, not through tricks, not through hype, not by gaming the system, but by simply becoming the obvious trusted choice. And that's what AI authority is really about. It's not artificial. It's just the digital reflection of your real expertise, your real proof, and your real trust. You're just building a digital case for yourself. So here's the next step. Schedule an AI authority audit with us if you need to find out exactly where you're strong, where you're exposed, and what needs to be fixed first. We'll be happy to review your current footprint, your reviews, your website, your content, your Google business profile, your video presence, your paid search structure, your tracking, your authority signals, your conversion path. The goal here is to help you identify where you're strong, where you're exposed, and what you need to fix first. Because not everything has the same priority. Some things are cosmetic, others are costing you visibility, trust, and lead quality. This will give you clarity, and clarity is where better decisions start. It's not a pitch, it's not an obligation. We send you a pre-call strategy briefing, and it is a discussion. If you want to do business with us, great. If you don't, great. You'll know where you stand. So we want to invite you to do that. If you want to schedule that, you can do that at remodelingmarketingteam.com/get-started. You can also call 888-350-7859 to schedule that. Couple of extra things here. Don't wait until your leads slow down to take this seriously. Build your authority now, train Google now, strengthen your trust now, because in this new search environment, the best known contractor is not always the one who wins. It is the most trusted contractor who does, and trust has to be visible. It has to be structured. It has to be supported by content, reviews, videos, project proof, and consistency. And so if you want help, schedule your audit. That is the next practical step. If you've got some questions, go ahead and put those in the chat. I'll be happy to field those for you. And while I'm watching the chat for those, I've got a couple of bonus slides here you can take a quick screenshot of And these are just some resources to help you. One is the authority checklist for remodelers. You can take a quick screenshot of this. It will help you not feel like you're behind. It will help you create clarity. It's a checklist. You can go through it, check off the boxes as you see. Do I have this? Do I not have this? It will just help you know where you stand in creating authority in this AI driven environment. Things like, does your website clearly explain your services? Is your Google business profile complete and active? How recent are your reviews? Are they frequent? Are they specific? Do you have project pages? Is your content answering homeowner decision questions? Do you have videos that are demonstrating your expertise and proof? Is your business info consistent across all platforms? Do you have FAQs on your service pages? How about your calls to action? Are you tracking all the right things on your paid campaigns? Are you using call tracking and form tracking everywhere? And is that installed? Are your sales opportunities tied back to your lead sources? Do your top services have strong supporting content? Do your top project types have visible proof? So feel free to screenshot that and use that as a checklist. One other screenshot here for you. This is your where do you start for the first week. Uh, Audit your Google business profile. Review your top 3 service pages. Record one short job site video. Ask your last 5 happy clients for specific reviews. List your top 5 homeowner questions that your sales team is hearing. Check whether your business information is consistent across major platforms and pick one service page to improve first. And so that's another one you can screenshot, and that'll give you a quick head start in getting rolling on everything we've covered here today. I don't see any questions in the chat, so that is the end of our presentation for today. We'll have another webinar same time next month. I threw a lot at you today, so the recording will be up and available in the next 24 hours. I thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and for tuning in, and hope you found this helpful. Looking forward to seeing you on next month's webinar.